Welcome back, beautiful humans, to Kick Up Flicks. My name is Chris D, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. If you are brand new to this place, just know that we are here to talk about film and share our wonderful stories. So welcome to this wonderful family, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day as well. But today we're going over the Shaman King. We're doing something a little bit new, and what we are doing for something new is that we're going to go by episode to see what we like and what our favorite parts are, and then at the very end of the season I'll do like a quick overview on what I kind of think about the growth of the character. But for right now, we're actually going to talk about how they opened up the scene. You have this older gentleman in front of this wonderful shrine, probably it looks like a shaman shrine, from what it kind of looks like. Not sure if he's praying to like a god or the previous shamans or if anything, but they don't give a lot of information. All that we know is that they have to kill demons, or kill these two twins that are being born right now, only because one of them happens to have a demon inside of them that is being resurrected after 1,000 years. And when this demon shows, it was kind of like the setup, because the demon, I guess, wanted them to use their power to be like, oh, you're just like an infant to me, which is actually kind of ironic that the demon who's being resurrected is calling the older gentleman who's using his powers, or shaman powers, an infant, which I guess it's considered good humor, but if you don't really find that funny, I think it's hilarious. They end up losing this wonderful fight, and this demon gives a wonderful warning to them. And I guess I call it a wonderful warning because it's very clear and precise that when this twin decides to grow up and become the Shaman King, I will come back and take his power to become stronger. Now, my question is, how do they absorb others' power, or is there a power that you get when you become the Shaman King? Or will he always have the ability to fight when fully grown, a Shaman King at equal standing? Moving on from that, you learn about the new main character named Manta. That kind of actually reminds me of a Malta for some reason, but it's Manta, and he is a encyclopedia librarian person that carries a book. Not a librarian, he's actually a student, but it's actually funny how he carries this big encyclopedia around him that's full of knowledge. Don't know if he actually changes it, but I guess it's like what I consider a general knowledge textbook of anything that has to do with supernatural or facts whatsoever. And he decides to take the shortcut through a cemetery, and when he enters the cemetery, he runs into which is one of our other main characters, which we find out is a shaman, and he's talking to himself, and he decides to show the spirits to Manta, and because he can see it, makes him a good person. Manta the next day tries to rat him out, but it really didn't end up working out, and decides to follow him onto a bridge and realize that did not move for endless hours until the evening, and decided to show himself a little bit. And then they had this wonderful conversation, and just kind of spills out his secret about who he is and what his role in life is really about. And he just does it leisurely, but we later find out that it's friendship that is important, because he considers him a friend, because since he can see ghosts, that makes him a good person, because only good people can see spirits. Manta decides to see him later on and tries to go back to the cemetery to see him, but we find out very quickly that there's a group of people that follow a leader named the Wooden Sword Ryu, and beats the living daylights out of Manta. The next day when he goes back to school and finds him, he goes, "Oh, really?" and pretty much grabs him, goes back to the cemetery, and Manta's like pulling on his shirt saying, "Please, just let's go," and kind of beats him up with this samurai. Now, one thing to realize, that there was the spirit samurai that popped up. But notice when you watch things that in this anime, especially in the first episode, when things get mentioned more than once, they showed the name, and then they kind of spoke about this samurai a couple times, and whenever they do that, it's letting you know that this person's going to be a very important character that is going to potentially stay with the series for the whole entire season. So we'll see if that actually happens. So this big fight ensues, and Yo actually calls I guess like a mode or an action mode, which is spirit flame mode, and turns the samurai into this little fire guy back here that's kind of like right behind me, and then shoves it into his body, integrates with him, and as long as they have the same idea and morals, they'll go and fight it. After the fight, we found out that Yo had actually went to a museum and found the samurai's sword, but there was a spirit on it, which was the craftsman who made the swordsmith, and realized that they both have regrets. And then in this anime, I'm guessing that since you have regrets or stuff that can't let you pass on, and not everybody can pass on, but those who can pass on but don't have something that they need to have settled, but I guess they can't do that by themselves, and I'm assuming that's why shamans are here, to help bridge that gap, to send them on their way. And the only thing that this swordsmith wanted to do to help him pass on was to give him, he felt like he killed his friend because he wasn't able to give him the sword that was perfection. And Yo actually brought it to him, but that scene is actually very hilarious, because if you think about it, he held out the sword for Midamaru to actually grab the sword through the spirit form, but it makes you wonder, how did he steal the sword? Or why did he keep it? Or did he keep it? Did he actually end up returning it? Which I'm assuming he did, because it doesn't seem like a bad person. But how did they not notice that the sword was missing the whole entire time? I mean, do they not check, or do they not care? Or maybe it's not a place that many people go and visit, and therefore it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, it is what it is at this point in time. But after all that, they become really good friends, and he's like, oh yeah, I will follow you, and I'll lend you my power, which is actually pretty great, because I would love to see what other kind of powers that the samurai can do. And then they kind of back up, and you learn about this new character. Now, we don't know anything about this new character, but one thing that we do know is the spirit, which his name is Basin. So I can't wait to find out. And for someone being that far looking upon someone else, that could be a bad person or someone we're getting ready to fight. But it looks like a juicy fight to me, because Basin looks like a pretty big spirit, but I don't know exactly what kind of spirit he is or where he's from. I would like to find out where he's from, or you just, yeah, I don't know, because unless you guys recognize the armor, I would love to know. But till then, if you guys like it and you want to see more, please hit subscribe button, hit that bell notification for whenever I post a video, which is going to be more often. Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Until next time, I will see you later. Peace.